How's it going, everyone? Welcome back to Shadows Over Loathing. I ran back to the Big Moist in the Dauphine house and went and used the medical sink to get rid of my stink. A pack of hulking devils crest the horizon, surfing the back of a giant inflatable rat. Some jumpy little fellers hop up and down on the balloon's rat nose. Hey, Fat Cat, devils don't work for free. You summon, you pay. Hey, I didn't summon you. And who are you calling Fat Cat? Be your name Hellstrom or Joffrey McDoo, somebody's gotta give these devils their due. That is just a terrible rhyme, man. Well, I'm gonna fight him then. Oh my god, look at these crazy eyes. I'm used to seeing these little sort of one. Well, that one died before I could even see what its deal was. The Fire Devil Forker seems familiar to me. The Brute, look at his big weird ears. And that, it's a hell of a horn too. No wonder he's headbutting. And then Diablo over here, a devil stomper. Well, I know my way around stomping some devils as well. So let me show you what I can do. This is... I think you can actually kill them all yourself, Grammy. Good job, my boy. That was as easy as it gets. That'll teach them a lesson about demanding fair compensation for their labor. Wait, no, that's not a good lesson. A deviled egg. Some degenerate soul deprived of God's love has adulterated a natural egg with whipped mayonnaise and paprika. Increases mysticality by 1 and the damage of your magical attacks by 4. It's pretty good, honestly, and I like deviled eggs. I think I'm pretty good at making deviled eggs. Tell them to keep it up. They're just like, keep it up. Yeah, is that what it was? Some of them were really shooting through like whack-a-moles and things. Makes me think of Earthworm Jim. It's a shame I don't think Doug TeNaple's a very good person. Maraschino sniffs your hand, then bumps her face against it with a purr. So I had to acquire the stink before the cat would show up, and I had to get rid of it before I didn't even have to like provide food or anything. You can now pet Maraschino to receive a boon. Just stench armor. It's literally just stench armor. Disdain for bad smells has rubbed off on you. Well, I'll keep my current boon. I'm still think Ishmael's is the first one I ever found, and it still remains like the best one. Maraschino is a pretty cute cat name. I lithe enough spelunker, lithe enough spelunker could squeeze through this opening. That's me! Use my moxie to do so. Well, I feel like I'm doing some sort of major shortcut. That would be like me just skipping some of the combat there. Well, that's one way around it. Just big enough to crawl through? Now, let's go through a regular one. This hole is lubricated with worm goo. It would be the work of a moment to plunge through it. Do that then. Ew. We're not sure what this is, but it reeks of worm flesh. So that would have been a good reason to take the stench armor. It wouldn't have been enough still, so I might as well just grab the handkerchief, which is one of these. An accessory. Yeah, let's just throw that on there. I guess what am I losing? What did I just get rid of? Cold armor and HP healing. They're good, but I'll just keep this on because I'm presumably gonna have to deal with a multitude of stinky things. Reach inside. Ooh. You plunge your arm in, you found the goo, and I have the stink again. So I'm just gonna be stuck with that one for the duration of this whole wormy situation. Oh, well, would you look at that? I'm on the other side of that again already. So entirely that was just based around avoiding the combats. Distressingly large wormhole. Mother worms. Mother has arrived. Weird freaky worm. There's a shiny metal thing in this pile of rocks. It's a gear, a worm gear. How apropos. They call it worm gear because it's really unpleasant to get one stuck in your head. Oh, because like a earworm, something that gets stuck in your head, a worm gear. I think that's what they're going for there. It's a bit of a confusing roundabout thing. Wow, chunky. Oh, geez. This is a very large worm. Even I wasn't expecting it to be this big. Don't worry, it got your back. Thank you, Don T. Oh, it does not have anywhere near as much health as I thought it would, but this is the father-growed worm, and we had entered the mother's lair, so I think this is like a warm-up boss fight. It intends to slam itself against the ground, doing 13 physical to everyone. Pretty damn good. Elemental armors, nah, that's no good. Hot damage, that's something, but I would rather like weaken it, you know? 8 sleaze and set them on fire. Yeah, I guess that is better than my like standard stench damage attack. It's so strange that they don't have stench armor. I'm quite surprised. Increase my mysticality. I will do that then. Yes, I believe that would be a good use of my time. And that will affect my main attack, but nothing else. So I guess I'll just dish out one regular attack, and then it did 37 damage. He had 37 health. That was precise. Worked very well. You won! The giant worm shrieks and retreats into its burrow. You hear rumbling sounds throughout the cavern as the rest of the worms follow its lead. It leaves behind enough loose skin for you to quickly make a pair of boots. Why would we do that? Did you know that in each pair of these, one is female and the other is male? Makes you move like a worm. I'm just gonna slink my way around on the ground, fall on the floor and flop like a fish. Well, we're overdue. We're overdue for a new shoe. No way are you following it down that hole. Not for all the fertilizer in the world. We have 240 pounds. We already have like half of the world's supply, presumably, so we don't need it at all. A massive pile of cast-off worm skin. Ugh, this is awful. You got a worm pellet, a nasty little sack formed around some undigestible material. Do worms do that? You slice open the worm pellet and empty its contents onto in your hand. An old wallet, a knuckle bone ring, a ring made from the knuckle bone of one of those kinds of monkeys whose fingers are always curled into circles. So it's a curse monkey finger ring. Crack knuckles increases your entire party's mysticality. Ugh, I like cracking my knuckles. I know it freaks some people out. A screwdriver. You're sure that these 3 items represent some compelling environmental storytelling, but you can't quite make heads or tails of what it all means. A wallet, a knucklebone ring, and screwdriver? Oh well. Yep, I say just move on. Let's loot this. 205 meat. Not bad. The rest of that, I'll just leave alone. I cannot rummage around in it a second time. Now we can head to the Shadow Rift. Oh, I just get to be a fruit ninja? A flying fruit ninja? Well, that's very impressive to chop it into many apple slices, not just in half. Like, that's some skill. I have a moment burned into my memory for all these years where my brother was making a sandwich, and I don't know, I was 13 years old or something. He would have been like 16, and he was in the middle of doing it, like just spreading things, and this fly landed on a bowl of fruit on top of an apple, and without like hesitating, he just went and just whacked like that, like didn't look over at it, just reflex, and he just cut it perfectly in half. It was like a Jackie Chan moment or something. You gotta watch an interview with Jackie Chan. No, with... Oh my god, what is his name? He's like Lucius Malfoy. I'm forgetting the actor's name. There's an interview with him where he talks about meeting Jackie Chan, and Jackie has a story about like snatching flies out of the air. So that's why it's a Jackie Chan moment. That was a tangent, on a Shadow Rift, on a wormhole, on a fertilizer fetching quest. We're so many steps removed from what the object at hand is here. A throbbing ring of negative energy around a floating apple. You carefully roll the weird energy up with the pliers until it's gone. Imagine opening a can of sardines, but like the opposite of that. Yeah, sure, alright. Leave this strange dojo. Yeah, it was kind of fun, but it was pretty easy. It's fine though, we'll just move along. I almost missed that. 18. Wow, what is mine up to at this point, actually? Because I feel really good that my hobo code knowledge would potentially be better than that. I know I've acquired quite a bit. I've fully lost track of... I thought it was a perk. There's so many at this point, I don't even know where to go looking. There it is. Level 18! That is some dumbass luck. The code reads riches below. You dig through the pile of rocks and claim the aforementioned riches for yourself. Pile of silver bars. You're not sure if this is enough silver bars to count as a trove, but it's at least a heap. They'll sell for a pretty penny. They're just there to be sold. Hey, alright, I got a fair number of things that are just meant to be sold. So I'm not really hurting for meat, not hurting for experience. If you're thorough in this game, like maybe some people just want it to be a 20-hour experience, blast through the main storyline, do the odd other thing, be a bit of a challenge. The way I go about it, you never want for anything. Well, let's insert the worm gear and see what the hell happens with this thing. It's busily producing low-frequency thumps. We literally are doing a Dune thumper to keep away the worms. That is so funny. What is it? Walk. You must walk with rhythm, else you attract the worm or something? I'm totally not remembering it. But it's featured in Fatboy Slim's weapon of choice, like a direct quote from Dune. And so I'm trying to picture the lyric to remind myself what the Dune quote is. Dutifully occupied, I dealt with the worms. I noticed. Help yourself to the fertilizer down there if you didn't already. Oh no, I would never. I obviously waited until the appropriate time after completing the assigned task. Here, let me throw in a little bonus. We experimented with preserving our cherries in jars, but nobody bought them. Probably because nobody wanted 5 gallons of them all at once. So maraschino cherries are a thing already, or is the joke that you invented them and named them after your cat, or what's the order there? This is a slightly more maraschino cherry than were recently found in Lenin's colon. That joke's very much lost on me. Maraschino cherries. Yeah, we named them after the cat. Okay, so the opposite of what you'd expect. You know, it's a little weird that we got through this whole deal without ever referencing The Cherry Orchard by Anton Chekhov. Yeah, I guess. I never read it, though. Yeah, me neither. Can I buy some cherries? It's not cherry season. When's cherry season? Who's to say? What season is it now, even? I think it's canonically October? Definitely not cherry season then. Well, I'll leave you to it then. I'm glad we worked through that. I definitely should run back to the speakeasy. I now suddenly am just carrying a multitude of things that will be beneficial for there. And I better go back to the feed store and give that fertilizer. You find a sickly tree growing out of a 6-inch deep puddle of crude oil. It's exuding some of the greasiest sap you've ever seen. And we got ourselves some sorted grease. Oh, and I better go back and do away with my stench again. Right. You're totally not even who I'm looking for. I actually don't remember who it was who wanted the fertilizer. I have Grover in mind. Okay, Grover is still someone who is here, at least, because I was starting to think not. You were Wendelin. Neither of you are Grover. Or are you Grover? Grover appears at the chessboard. Yes, here is your fertilizer. Oh, perfect. This'll be plenty. Thanks for your help. Sure, no problem. He wheels over to the back door and knocks on it in an elaborate pattern. You hear the click of the door being unlocked. Then he returns to the chess table. I probably ought to get back to my garden, but maybe just one more game first. Still got plenty of time. Is his garden like a meth lab or something? Why was he so aloof about it? Aloof. I emphasize that in a strange way. So, I'm running back here to gather up. I believe this is the easiest medical sink to get to, so I usually just run back to that one. Got rid of the growed worm stink. Don't want that. It's grody. It's the main reason to not want it. I have a message, so I recall now that I forgot to do that the last time I was here because I got distracted. I think I got distracted going to the bar. I found some bitters. Bitters, how sweet it is, baby. I found some cherries. Nice. These will be the cherry on top. So, both of those would be things that you would add to your drink. Neither of which I think are things you would add to beer. No. So, we will leave the beer buzz as is. Let's run back, though, and check the message. You check the message pad on the phone. There's a note for you. Call Don T. Call him back. Hey, this is Benny One Tongue speaking. What happened to Don Toblerone? Sore throat. You Grammy? That's me. Okay, here's the deal. We left a bunch of stuff in your nightstand. There's some books we need cooked, some documents we need forged, and some evidence we need doctored. Once you've done with all that, dump them in the sewer grate outside the antique store and the boys will handle it from there. Got it. Nice talking to you, Benny. I mean that. Sure thing. Yeah, it's nice to talk to someone who commits to the English language in a very direct manner. I don't need any of the fancy divergences that Don Toblerone tends to take. Benny One Tongue said there's a bunch of stuff in here for you. The uncooked mob books, he wasn't kidding, pages and pages of raw financial data. The unforged mob documents, these documents are printed on soft, unrefined paper, and the undoctored mob evidence. It's bleeding ink. It needs medical attention immediately. So we need to talk to a chef, a blacksmith, and a doctor? Probably. Things are usually quite literal in that way. A chef, something equivalent to a blacksmith, and a doctor. Would that make sense? The chop shop, maybe, for the blacksmith? I know that that's like not very literal. It doesn't make a ton of sense, but I'm gonna give it a quick inspection and see where that leads me. I have my suspicions. I can't say I don't think I've been anywhere that I would otherwise refer to as like a blacksmith or that it would make any sense. But you're very mechanically minded, so maybe you know what's up. Or maybe you got no idea. Oh, but there's an anvil back here. Yeah, okay. Weird that this instinct made sense. An old school blacksmith's anvil. This must be where they work on the real vintage cars. And mob documents? You grab a nearby hammer and pound on the documents for a while. They are now forged. The paper is smooth and strong and holds its edge. The facts printed on it are cold and hard. Alright, the doctor and the chef. Maybe I just need to find like a stove, not necessarily a chef. Those make more sense. Like I can more readily imagine what I'll need to do there. Man, did I ever get spun around though on my various tangents of things to do. I did the fertilizer thing, and then I went and did the speakeasy. I went and got those messages. The door at the feed place in the Gray County is now available to me. I'll obviously come back to that. I might as well just kind of continue on with what I'm doing now. All of a sudden. Didn't mean to wander. It's fine. Sure, I'll fight some weird shadow spiders. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like I've just entered a new phase of this quest, and like, you know, probably I'll run into the different things I need incidentally. Oh, there was totally the new thing to come to here, so maybe I want to check that out sometime soon. The hardware store also would have been a good guess, in my mind, for where to blacksmith something. The doctor and some sort of chef. The fish and chips, maybe. They would be able to cook them for me. I don't think I would have access to the stove, though, so it's hard for me to know. Yeah, I don't have access to the stove. Do you want to buy that thing that I'm trying to sell to random people? I haven't asked anyone about that in a little while. I don't think anything here really qualifies as a doctor. There wasn't like a nurse's office or anything like that. There, you know, there's like the medical sink, but again, I don't think that really makes sense. Surely I have like a friend who's a doctor or something that I've met at some point. Probably I just need to go somewhere that has a kitchen. So if I just go and like inspect this house and I'm pretty sure they have a kitchen there. Like any stove will do is what I'm hoping for. So that's my main motivation for going here versus anywhere else. I don't think this is necessarily the most logical. Steamy swamp worms. So that oven's a write-off. We're not using that one. How many of these were actually like houses that would just have a kitchen? That's potentially something I'm more likely to find here if I just go to their house. There's something familiar about the long-haired woman on the road who stands waist-deep in a puddle of last night's rain. It's the lady of the lake, but just hanging out in puddles. Yes, it's the woman you last saw standing waist-deep in the swamp bog. But this time she bears no sword. It doesn't look like she's brought you any gifts or treats at all. For decades, the blade of your great-aunt was hidden with our family for safekeeping. Now the weapon is yours, but our business is not yet concluded. Do I even still have it? Yeah, I remember. I haven't used the sword much lately, though. Hey, what sword? I don't remember a sword. I don't remember you. Do not waste my time. I kept for you the sword in exchange for a boon. I call upon you now to perform it. With the fulfillment of your obligations shall come an end to your burdens. I speak, of course, of your swamp geese. I was waiting for this day. What's the boon? I actually got rid of the geese on my own. Do not tamper with my family's magics. They are finely tuned instruments. You know not what you do. I got rid of it, though. It is of no consequence. In return for services rendered by my family, you owe to us a boon. I call upon you to perform it now. If you do not, I shall simply reapply the geese. Go for it. I'll just take it off again. The geese was but a child's magic. I should like to see you deal with a far more powerful spell. Fine, I will. It isn't a problem to me. You clutch your stomach. These geeses are murder on the guts. The gas plus. A new curse, even gasier than the last. Piqued, the woman descends the puddle in the fashion of someone storming down a flight of stairs. What was the boon? Did I actually kind of cut that off? Whoops. Sorry. 9 reps. Weird dolls doing work. Oh, so like all of these stoves are in use, so I would have to specifically go looking for a stove that isn't being used. The Delphine house is a regular house, right? The dirt back road you're following branches off an even dirtier, backier road. An old wooden turn marker reads Papasuska, which is a real exciting if you're into diacritics. I don't know what diacritics are. Is that maybe a word to mean like the little accents on the letters? Because there's a lot going on there. Papusasku, which like it's pay poo like I don't know what the accents are gonna mean. You shade your eyes with your hand in that way people do when trying to see a far distance, like they're pretending they have invisible binoculars or something. Like I'm doing it more like this. You can kind of make out a low pile of rubble that might be a completely destroyed house. Behind that, some kind of shed or something. I'm gonna keep going to the house. Oh yeah, this house. Yeah, no, not a regular house. That was very incorrect. Not going to that one. Well, shit. Alright, I think I'm just gonna go about different quests and things, and if and when I manage to stumble upon what I need to cook the books and whatever, then I'll just take care of it then. In the meantime, I'm gonna see if I can get rid of the gas plus. I'm guessing not. Swamp gas clouds the sky. The heavens alight with strange new constellations, unlike any you've seen before. The swamp stars draw the outline of a flamingo attempting to swallow a car tire. Wherever you go in this swamp, know that they shall be under the sign of this unhealthy bird and all the protection that entails. I shall be under. I would be surprised if it would let me get rid of this one, since I kind of cheated the first one, and it's funny that the game kind of made a gag out of it. Yeah, there's I cannot deal with it currently, so guess I leave that alone. I think what I want to do, because I've risked forgetting about it, is to go back to Crystal Dream Lake and go explore that new area. Do some cooking. Cook the mob books. But I can... There we go. There, I had to scroll them 1 millimeter. There we go. I needed the arcane oven to do so. You bake the books at 400 degrees for 30 minutes. These books have been cooked, and if anybody finds out, it was you who did it. So, is your goose. If anybody finds out it was you who did it, so is my goose is also cooked. Yes, of course, of course. That's probably what they meant. What does that leave me with? There's the arcane stoves and there's like the crafting tables. I don't think that would apply. And the medical sink didn't work, so I know that that's not correct anymore either. Oh, maybe if I find like a medicine cabinet though, because those exist here and there. It's possible. I don't know. I'm not gonna worry about it too much. Yeah, I don't think any of those have a high likelihood of being what I need. This is a very sparse area. Is it about to start being filled up more? Because it's kind of interesting now looking at it, seeing how little there kind of is around here. But I still spent a very long time in this area, so I don't even know. On the side of the dirt road you're walking down, you see a patch of blood moss growing on a bone tree. Okay, it's not a bone tree, it's a normal dead tree. I just thought it would sound cooler if I said it was a bone tree. I will continue going to this, which I don't remember why this came up or what introduced me to it. The unremarkable spot. Do they have fairies in the swamp? The ones in these woods are real bastards. Flying snacks. Rare now. Well, it's no more than they deserve. Want to leave from somewhere for somewhere more remarkable. No, not currently. I don't want that. Do I? Do I want to leave? A cheeky squirrel challenges you to a race. It's a difficult course involving several jumps and climbs. Dang, that squirrel's fast. You cross the finish line first by a hair. Both you and the squirrel collapse by the lake, panting, sweating, laughing, clapping each other on the back. What a great day. It does sound delightful. What the hell pointed me back to this location? Was it Rufus? Was it something he was doing? I'm gonna comb through some of the more recent things that I have found. Everything that I put through the H hole. There's a lot going on there. I guess it would, if anything, it would be like under a quest item, right? These secretions are quest items? I guess I could have used them to clear out the worms. So I guess that is part of a quest. Yeah, nothing here seems like anything that would be useful in this unremarkable spot. The fact that that tree is like repeated, I thought maybe would mean something. Maybe I need to bring the right companion to here. I really assumed there would be more to this little area that I'm currently in, so I guess I'm going to leave that alone. Well, I made it far enough along in this quest relatively incidentally that I kind of do want to attempt to just doctor these documents and be done with it. I don't recall if there's like a nurse or anything. Thanks for the shadow clarinet. It's a pretty decently good item. This is gonna take some serious wandering. I do not have a strong sense of where I'm trying to get to right now. Potion crafting is not what I need. That does not amount to anything, so at least I have like a confirmation on that. Yes, nothing going on down with Rufus at the moment. You see a plume of smoke coming from behind a nearby clump of trees and brush, and as you draw nearer, the sounds of ragged cackling and giggling can be heard. Oh, could it be a coven of real swamp witches? Sadly, no. But what you do find is possibly even weirder. A gang of scraggly-looking swamp hillbilly vampires tending a ratty old still. Oh, hi. You fellas cooking up a batch of corn? Nope. Rats. You. Course, now that you're here, a whole nother recipe comes to mind. Magic up a solution. I'm pretty sure you can't actually make booze out of blood. It wouldn't ferment. Why not? Blood sugar is a real thing. Yes, but I'd have to be so diabetic I'd sweat pancake syrup. Look. Maybe I can set you up with some more appropriate ingredients. A few quick mathematical calculations later, and you've opened a portal to the fruits and vegetables dimension and retrieved a bushel of custom bright red ears of corn. There you go. Blood corn. I made it by crossbreeding regular sweet corn with blood oranges. I guess that makes sense. Well, heck, I reckon that solves our problem nicely. Thanks, feller. Don't mention it. I'm going to the monster shack because, I don't know, these kids seem relatively well equipped. I thought, you know, they might have anything, something useful at all. I don't know. Nothing here. Exhaustive list of, sorry, just hunt vampires. Where the hell have I found, like, medicine cabinets? I know that they exist. I know I've encountered them before. I don't know. The Flemberg place is the one with the fly thing. So honestly, I don't even think that has a very high likelihood of having what I need. Maybe I just need to be going back to, like, the main, like, the starting region. There's, like, probably a decent chance that somewhere in those early immediate areas would have what I need. Probably, right? And the odds that this has what I need feel low. Like, the crafting table is nothing. Yeah, I'm just guessing right now, and that's not seeming likely to lead to what I want or need. You guys don't just carry around any first aid things. Hey, that it would be greatly appreciated. There we go. See what's in there? Well, that was like my main theory for what I could deal with. Probably I have encountered like someone who has like a medical background, that's like a part of their story. Somewhere that would grant a band-aid. I could go get it blessed or something. The odds of that feel low, but I'm grasping at some straws here, some slippery straws that really don't want to be hung on to. I feel like there was a doctor of some sorts in the corn maze. That's like the main thing that I can think of. I think the hobo camp is like right there, and there was some sort of doctor at the hobo camp, so I'm gonna go poking around for them. And MD and Grub. It's a little bit of both, right? Wow, there's some interesting people here. Creamy Steve, want to buy this candy? What? Yeah, this will go great with cream. How's 1,000 meat sound? Surprisingly high, to be honest. 500 then. He grabs the candy and shoves the meat in your hand before you can protest. Wow. I did not expect to find or resolve that. Hi again. Hey, thanks for helping me before. Since Cornelius arrived, I finally have the ingredients to make proper drinkable moonshine. Well, I say drinkable, but honestly, you really shouldn't unless your liver is accustomed to that sort of stuff. I made a whole batch just for you to pay you back for the hat. Maybe you could use it as engine fuel or a bomb or something. A big jug of moonshine. Oh, it's not even for the speakeasy. A big jar of Calendula's special corn hooch. Hooch being the sound it makes when you light it on fire and throw it at something. Wow, thanks. I'm gonna leave you to it. Oh, there's the hobo alligator here, the gator hobo. Talk to him. Ask about hobo code. Yes, share. Great. Hello. Hi, I found the place. Do you know what? I guess as I'm pushing through all this, I should probably wrap up this episode and who knows, I'm dragging it out. So let's just, hello. Oh, hi. I see you found the place. Yes, thanks. Camp good. People nice. Glad to hear it. By the way, my name's Grammy. Hello, Grammy. Name Agamemnon, which I think is like a demon hell lord of some kind. Have you learned any new hobo code? Yes, I share. Teaches some things mainly concerned with hunting and dentistry. Ask about something else. He's got nothing else to share. That's fine. 52 continues to tickle the ivories. Ask about the piano. Okay, hello, got any requests? What are you playing right now? It's pretty great. Let's stick with that. You got it. Wow, it's lucky they happened to find a piano for the camp. Oh, I brought this baby with me. On foot? How? Well, took a few trips. Oh, and a chef, but not. I've already done the cooking, so I don't even know. I'm gonna cut things off now, though. I prefer to round out a specific storyline or quest or whatever, and then round out the episode. But I can tell the length of this one's getting away from me a little bit, so I'm just going to wrap things up here, and we'll pick it back up, and that's just how it has to go sometimes. Thank you all so much for watching. Pitch me some episode titles, and I will see you all again soon.